This story is brought to us from NBCnews.com. Now, remember in Philadelphia when they had the football game and there was gunshots and the cops opened fire into the crowd and killed the little girl? Well, 3 former police officers who were charged with killing that 8-year-old girl after they opened fire in the direction of a crowd leaving a high school football game in suburban Philadelphia pleaded guilty to 10 counts each of reckless endangerment. Reckless endangerment, nothing to do with manslaughter, right? The negotiated plea deal included a dismissal of manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter charges against the 3 former Sharon Hill Borough officers, Sean Dolan, Devin Smith, and Brian Devaney, in the August 2021 death of Fanta Bility. Prosecutors said the planned deal was reached in consultation with the girl's family, who said ending the case was necessary so relatives could start healing. So, I mean, the family kind of went along with it. I don't know. I'm not in their place, so I don't know how they felt. I don't know the pain they felt, so I can't answer for them. But it does kind of really irritate me that they just shot into a crowd, killed an 8-year-old girl, and don't even get manslaughter or negligent homicide. They get reckless endangerment. The agony we feel constantly reliving the loss of our dear Fanta, who was just 8 years old when she was killed by Sharon Hill police officers, is impossible to describe with words. Bility's uncle, Abu Bility, read from a family statement after the hearing, describing the trauma her mother and siblings went through witnessing the shooting. You don't know. Nobody can really know how bad they feel. After much, he went on, after much prayer and discussion with our family, we determined that it was in our best interest for the district attorney to ensure that the police officers take responsibility for their actions, admit to their reckless conduct, endangering many and killing our Fanta. It was more than just reckless endangerment. They committed negligent homicide. They were negligent and someone died at their hands. A phone call to the law firm representing Devaney, Dolan, and Smith was not returned on Thursday. The 3 will remain free on bail while awaiting a sentencing hearing scheduled for January. They were fired from the Sharon Hill Borough Police Department a few days after charges were recommended. Their attorneys had sought several times unsuccessfully to have the manslaughter charges dropped. They argued in a September hearing that the men had not intended to harm anyone in the crowd and were being unfairly targeted because they were police officers. Boo effing who? Target them poor police officers. They didn't mean to kill somebody shooting into that crowd. They're not targeted because they're police officers. You or I do that. We're not police officers. We're looking at negligent homicide at least with 10 years. Tell me they were targeted because they shot into a crowd of people at a high school football game. How are they targeted? The only target was that little girl. And it goes down and talks a little bit about the original story, which I did an editorial on this. Normally I put a link to that original editorial in the description box below, but this is just an update. And what happened, there were shots, a report of shots fired at the football game, and these cops show up, or I think they were already there working, and it was 2 teenagers had fired shots at each other. Neither one of them were hit, and then the cops shoot into a crowd of people and the little girl gets killed. And you see they get reckless endangerment because these poor cops are being picked on.